Cricket has never been seen as a dangerous sport, not in the same league as motorsports or boxing. Stories about Bodyline or the fearsome West Indies quartet charging in at batsmen wearing floppy hats were just that, stories from another era. Helmets, arm guards, chest guards, thigh pads. Batsmen were protected now, or so we thought.
There was just no kind of grammar for it. There was just no way to put it into words. It's certainly been by far the most difficult thing I've ever had to write about.
It was hard then, and it's hard now. On November 27, 2014, at 2:23 p.m, cricket changed forever. Philip Hughes is batting for South Australia against New South Wales in a Sheffield Shield game. He goes for a hook shot, he misses, he collapses in a heap.
I remember on my laptop checking the cricket news, Philip Hughes has been hit. And I remember going to the footage of it, and I've never seen it again. I just saw it, and I straight away thought, oh God, that's terrible. That's a really bad blow. You don't often see them fall like that.
Hughes is immediately rushed to hospital for surgery but passes away 2 days later. Cricket has never witnessed anything like this before. Cricket doesn't know how to cope.
Up until that day, I think every cricketer who walked on the field thought, well, I could get hurt, but I won't get killed. And then after that Philip Hughes incident, we all realised differently that you can get killed.
Hughes had been earmarked for greatness from a young age. At 19, he became the youngest batsman to score a century in the Sheffield Shield final. At 20, he became the youngest cricketer in history to score a century in each innings of a test against South Africa in Durban, no less. He was also the youngest Australian test centurion since Doug Walters in 1965. 4 years after his test debut, he became the first Australian to score a century on his one-day debut. A poor run of form saw him lose his place in the side, but he was a front-runner to replace the injured Michael Clarke for the series against the visiting Indians. He passed away a couple of weeks before the first test of that series, 3 days short of his 26th birthday.
Hughes, who was such a well-loved cricketer and kind of in the pink of form and kind of on the brink of coming back from a difficult period in his career, and there was a sense of kind of optimism about him, a perennial sense of optimism. We've got accustomed over the sort of the preceding decade to batsmen getting hit and sort of just going, dusting themselves off and getting up and batting on, which sort of regarded head impacts as just an occupational hazard of batting.
Cricket is a very challenging and contrasting game. It's good and it's bad. It's kind and it's harsh. It's rough and it's smooth. And the rough bits are very rough. And Phil got on the end of a rough bit.
Hughes was well loved and the tributes flowed in. Across the globe, people put their bats out to honour the memory of the batsman.
He'd been all blue sky, Philip Hughes, and all of a sudden we were deprived of the prospect of seeing him fulfil his potential.
The Australia-India series went ahead with a tweaked schedule. Sean Abbott, the bowler who delivered the unfortunate bouncer, returned to cricket 17 days later and played in the Indian Premier League for the Royal Challengers Bangalore the next season. The show, as they say, went on, though it's hard to tell if the game moved on.
I still don't think cricket's quite got over it, really. I think there's a sense that cricketers feel the need to be stoic about it, to rise above it. There's a sense sometimes that they're a little bit more macho than they actually feel.
4 years later, it's still hard to put the incident into perspective.
It's no fault of cricket. You might say the protective equipment needs to be better thought through. certainly can't blame the bowler. It's a bit of a freak. He probably threw the shot too early. It's very difficult to know what to say. I mean, the sadness will live forever. Cricket's what we do. Cricket's what we love. We all of us have a love affair with cricket. And love affairs can be inordinately painful at times. And this was perhaps the most painful moment of all.
Certainly not something that I would ever care to live through again.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.